Started my on-the-job training with Harmony Organics a week ago today. It's been great. Really smooth. Pretty easy. Feels good to be working. Memorizing the product codes was challenging, but it helped to have 3 weeks to practice. VR gave me a handheld inventory device, and I just studied it every day. I even got Jonathan to help. I think he secretly liked quizzing his dad. Anyway, everybody on my team at the American Job Center was great. I owe them a lot. I'll still be working with them for a while. Wendy and Sophie are my heroes now. I hope they feel as good about this as I do.
I just realized that David Thompson has been in his on-the-job training for over a week now. Any word?
Funny you should ask. I just touched base with him today, and he can't believe he has the opportunity to drive a truck again. He's really excited.
Have you heard from George or Robert? I want to make sure that David continues with his support services.
I haven't talked to them since David went to work.
Can you do me a favor and check on them? I want to make sure that the lines of communication are open and working.
Sure, no problem. Is that what you meant when you were talking about IRT facilitation? I mean, like following up with George and Robert. It seems like there's a lot more to this than just setting up the meeting.
Yes, an unwatched IRT plan rarely moves forward, and a plan that doesn't move forward is no longer a plan.
Yeah, you're right.
What did you think about putting together the IRT?
You know, I was pretty doubtful, and I thought it would be a longer process than doing things my usual way. But I can see the reason why now. Sure, there's a lot of work on the front end, working with David to get releases and setting up the initial meeting. But once everything's in place, it's an effective process.
Excellent.
Now that the plan has been developed and signed off on, it's like there are 5 sets of eyes watching it, and each one of the people has a particular specialty and set of resources. Think about what happened with those inventory codes. If it had been up to Bruce and me, we may have all been stopped right there. But because we'd included VR from the beginning, we had a new path. Robert really came through with a simple accommodation strategy, and he was able to pay for it within just a couple of days. We worked with VR to line up their plan with the others and ours so that they were able to just step right in when David needed it.
Oh, I couldn't have said it better myself.
Thanks.
Oh, and what about Bruce?
You know I checked with him. Bruce said that David's supervisor told him that David managed to hit all of his spots on schedule, which is not common for a driver in their first week. And all of his customers were raving about what a nice guy he is.
Oh, excellent.
And the supervisor said that David's learning curve with those inventory codes is a non-issue because of his great performance on the other parts of his job.
Oh.
He said David can take as long as he needs, as long as he performs the rest of his duties as well as he's doing now.
You were very smart to support David's interest in delivery. It's clearly a good match.
Thank you.
Bruce must be glad to hear all this.
Oh, he seemed pretty pleased. He asked me if I would be willing to share the file at the next staff meeting.
Glad to hear.
How do we keep the momentum we've built with David going forward?
That's exactly the right question to ask. If I were you, I would follow up with David and George and make sure that everything is in line on the benefit side of the equation.
I'll definitely do that.
Looks like you have everything in place.